Apology to my father, Oshomole. In this regard, he is totally, completely, unreservedly wrong.
Welcome to another episode on Novel TV. Today with me on set is my very good friend, Chidi Peter Obi. He is the editor-in-chief of African Times magazine. He's a social commentator, he's a political analyst, and his vast and experience in this field, which we are going to delve in today. Sir, you're welcome.
It's my pleasure, my very wonderful friend.
It's a privilege
It's
to
been a
have
while.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me for this
Thank
program.
you so much. Thank you so much. Today we'll be looking at, like I was telling somebody, the major news today is 2023 presidential election in Nigeria, and top on the list is the candidacy of His Excellency Governor Peter Obi. There's been this various people telling us what they know about him, but I just want to take you on the comment by Governor Adams Oshomole. In one of the interviews Governor Adams Oshomole granted, he said that Peter Obi was responsible for the rise of Bakasi in Anambra State when he was the governor. I believe you served in Anambra State. You have an experience. You knew what happened. So can you just tell us about Bakasi, how Bakasi started in Anambra State and the place of Peter Obi in the formation of Bakasi, just like Adams Oshomole said?
Well, His Excellency Adam Oshomole is a very intelligent Nigerian, having risen from trade union NLC to becoming an executive governor of one of the most vibrant states per se in Nigeria. But he is not exceptional from every other politician in Nigeria whom during electionary campaign they tend to launch propaganda, they tend to be very economical with the truth, they tend to launch attacks, they tend to launch unverifiable claims, allegations, just to woo in their supporters or to paint the other person in the limelight. Doing that, it has exposed the ignorance of some of our politicians of being good students of history. Bakasi was a child of circumstances in Anambra State. If we're in any way in 1998 to 1999, you find out that there was such an armed robbery in Anambra State where banks were attacked, where all female robbers attacked New Tazan Transport Company in the early hours of on a market day like this. The drug were coming down from north, and all female, when I mean all female armed robbers launched the attack. The driver is only male in the attack, and they succeeded in killing a lot of people and robbing, and they left. Another attack was launched at Izuchukwu Transport Company, as at Toba Junction. A lot of lives were lost. Then Nnewi people decided to set vigilante, community by community. But it was not helping matters because of the nature and the sophisticated weapon with which these criminals use. There was an attack on Nnewi Motor Spare Parts Market, which is the Agbedo market, where several shops were ripped open, money carted away. Then there was an attack in Wema Bank inside the Nnewi market, where when the armed robbers were escaping, they had an exchange of fire with soldiers at Semeri Junction in Nnewi, and 2 soldiers died. And as soon as they were trying to revive from that, there was an attack on First Bank at roundabout in Nnewi, where They robbed after robbing and killing a child who was peeping from the window. If you are comfortable to Newi, in opposite that first bank is a man that sells mocha phone. The daughter came back from school. That was 7 years that time, and she was peeping through the window, and the armed robber wasted her life. After robbing in Newi, after doing that bank robbery, the armed robbers left spraying money everywhere. There was an attack of bullion van at DCC. There were several attacks in Nnewi here and there. Armed robbery and attack became normal in Nnewi, and there were house-to-house attack of people who are living along LaSalle Road. There were attack of people living up Nnewi. Despite that security, there was thefts here and there. Now, what brought Bakasi in was when the market vigilante could not help, was when armed robbers came into Nnewi markets on a day the market was booming. The attack, that time Innocent was into exchange. The attack Innocent cut away millions of naira, millions of dollars, and they picked a boy that came to do business. They killed him at a marine. They attacked Elvis Continental, who was also into exchange. The attack Hugonest and several other places. They laid siege on Nnewi for several hours. Police were helpless. It was that time that the Nnewi Osako Spare Parts Market went to see Amobi Chukwen, the Honorable, who was local government chairman then, that see, this thing has gotten out of hand. That they learned there were some people who are guiding Aba markets, that they want to go and bring them so that they can guide their markets. They went. That time, the chairman of NASPA is Imam Wemen, a chief. They went and brought Bakasi down, specifically to guide the market. Then the real commander then of Nnewi was Matthew Oner. He was the area commander of Nnewi. So they went, brought Bakasi. On that evening was when Bakasi started operation. The arrival of Bakasi brought calmness in Nnewi and the environs. Some of the armed robbery hideouts, including a hotel at the back of now Ori's Motors. There was a hotel at inside that place where you have call girls. That 3 story building hotel, the other one hotel, that was also hideout for armed robbers. It was raided, and they asked all of them to go. The Bakasi people discovered, that was the 2000, precisely on May 7th. Bakasi people discovered a woman that used to sell food close to the White House in the market. Her fridge, it was stocked with guns. So there was raid in Nnewi. Nnewi became calm. The Bakasi boys now extended operation to Ozobolo, extended to Amici, and extended to Ojoto. Before you know it, the Omata then now organized to also have such people are having peace around the arena, as was how Bakasi now moved to the market Onitsha. Sanitize the market, sanitize Awada, sanitize Fege, and there was normalcy in Onitsha. Then Mbarinuju was the governor of the states. As the year 2000. Already, Mbarinuju is heated by political opposition. So he was somehow helpless as far as insecurity was concerned. It was at that moment, that was what brought the beginning of Monday prayers in the main market, in markets in Anambra State. It was because of the robbery that yielded prayer, so that God will have mercy. Then Mbarinuju said, okay, let us now have them as Central Vigilante Group. They now metamorphosed into Central Vigilante Group. Then there was political coronation that came about it. The killings and so on became something else. There were complaints from people whose relations were killed, that were innocent, were killed by these people. Then the original Bakasi now say they cannot continue because they need to start bringing them minor issues that they want to go back to Aba. So the original Bakasi now came back to Nnewi, living on Onitsha, and stayed for some time, and now went back to Aba. Then the Bakasi was politicized. That's what brought about the clean of Edinogu. That brought the clean of what do you call him again? Igwe with his pregnant wife, and so on and so forth. And again, that also brought a heat in Anambra. Before we know it, we have entered election period. So what I'm saying is, Peter Obi never knew and was never a governor and have never had a thought of becoming a governor when Bakasi came into Anambra State.
Thank you so much. You really took us through a history lane telling us how Bakasi started and their impact in why they came, how they safeguarded the towns as in Newi, Onitsha, and Environ. But you just summarized by telling us that P2B never invited Bakasi.
Peter Obi was never, I have never even thought of becoming a governor when Bakasi came into Anambra State.
It's okay. Thank you so very much. So that means, if we should go back to where we started from, that means Adam Oshomole was wrong in saying that P2B started.
Apology to my father, Adam Oshomole. In this regard, he is totally, completely, unreservedly wrong.
It's okay. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Let me just take you just for 1 minute. I believe while you worked in Anambra State, or while you working, or you still working in Anambra State, you interacted with the governor when P2B was the governor. Can you tell us anything you know about P2B? Because we've been hearing a lot. I was listening to what Reno Mokri was saying now that P2B is tribalized. I listened to what Festus Kayama was saying. Was he saying
they don't know P2B very well.
P2B is an IPOB president.
They don't know P2B very well.
Somebody like Dino Melai. Dino Melai was saying P2B is good to be the vice president. It has all it takes, but it's not. It doesn't have the experience to become the president. In your opinion, just in a summary, tell us about the man Peter Obi.
There is no summarized paragraph, not even a page that will contain description of the man Peter Obi. If I would take you back to Adam Oshomole talked about demolition of houses, of kidnappers. When Ngige came in, Anambra politics became heightened. When Peter Obi came in, that was when you are fingered after thorough investigation and you are linked to kidnapping. That proceed of that house, proceed of kidnapping, which was used for that house, is brought down. It was Peter Obi that started in Nigeria. He got the approval of House of Assembly to that regard. The last he did was demolition of a house, a hotel, where human skull was found inside main market. Within 24 hours, the house is down. So it was Peter Obi who started it. Now, when you want to talk about Peter Obi is a man who is a good listener. And he is a man who wants to do things himself. And he is a man who takes responsibility. You are the commissioner. Let me give you a story that he was making around. They say he pursued outside from Onitsha. He never pursued outside from Onitsha. Before he became governor, there was an uprising in Kano that wanted to clean off people from the southeast. There was a reprisal attack that was before he became governor in Aba, who spilled over to Onitsha. That was during Ibori. Then some Hausa people now ran from that place and came down to Asaba. When Peter Obi was governor, there was these cattle markets or animal markets at the entrance of Onitsha that is in front of Obogu. He now said no, that this is the gateway to Anambra State and Southeast Nigeria. And by the way, you remember he changed, do you know why he changed the Anambra State motto from Home for All to Light of the Nation? It's because of the criminality in Anambra State, where every Tom, Dick, and Harry come to commit crime in Anambra. That's why I said no. We have Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, we have Cletus Ibeto, we have Kutis PLC, which is Ajuru Zodike, we have GEO, we have so many of them who have contributed positively, both in industry, in politics, to the betterment of Nigeria. Anambra should be a light of the nation. That is how he changed that slogan, Anambra, light of the nation.
From home of all.
Home for all.
Home for all to, okay.
Yes. So now, Mr. Peter Obi, after assuming the office of the governor, a lot of things came on board. Several things came on board to confront him. But he was able to assuage them one by one. One by one. So the markets, when he now said, okay, that he wants to move them. One, to Ibuku. Ibuku is where you have one of the major cattle markets. Then you want to move the other market to Oketiti, where you also have, if you want to buy meat cheap in Anambra State, you go to Oketiti or go to Ibuku, you get it cheaper. That will be their settlements. So they can move in there, so that they will be in the heart of Anambra State. They can move in there, as the northern people refused. He said no, that he wants to clean Onitsha. If you remember that period, those places you don't have flowers and so on and so forth, used to be motor parks. That place, you don't pass that place by 2. In fact, anytime you pass, anything happen to you, you take. So he now began the cleaning of Onitsha. Those who want to move to Amansi, they are still there till tomorrow, go and verify. Those who want to move to Ibuku, they are still there till tomorrow, go and verify. Those who want to move to Oketiti, they are still up there, up to now, go and verify. Some people move to Newi, close to Osakwe. They are there doing that business genuinely. Nobody pursued them. He said that mosque was demolished. Mosque was not demolished during Peter Obi. It was during that reprisal attack that they demolished the mosque. That was during by the administration. Peter Obi now rebuilt it into a modern mosque. So that propaganda should be set aside. Now, when Peter Obi assumed office, that was when there were militancy in the Niger Delta. That was when they granted militant amnesty. A lot of our boys from Southeast who are members of the militants now left Niger Delta and moved with their guns to Anambra State. That was how kidnapping began. They started kidnapping people to make money. Now, Mr. Peter Obi was handcuffed. You also have the issue of Masop, who were also hell-bent through Wazuki on achieving Biafra. It was infiltrated by armed robbers who were causing mayhem. It was Peter Obi that declared, please, Anambra State cannot be Masop. Anambra State has a governor. If you are Masop and you are agitating, agitate it genuinely, not coming to kidnap people and cause mayhem. That was when he declared shoot-at sites. He's the first governor to declare shoot-at sites of any armed robber in Nigeria. And there was record to that. There was a success to that. It was Peter Obi that pursued bandits, kidnappers to their den in Apaka Forest, which is now one of the best estates in Nigeria. Apaka Forest used to be a den. How dare you enter there? Peter Obi took the war to Apaka Forest and cleared it up. And today, people are living there. It's an estate. People are living there. Mansions are built there. He pursued them to Okija Forest. He pursued them to Oga Amechi, Amesi. Cleared them up. He pursued them to people with the land in Nnewi. He pursued them to Ekolobia and brought sanity. That was when Anambralians that ran away to Lagos now started coming back home to manifest. So he created that enable environment. So when he came, education was priority. He is the only governor in West Africa, not even Nigeria, to give private universities grants. Each private university in Nigeria, Tansa University, 100 million, 2 vehicles. Madonna University, 100 million, 2 vehicles. St. Paul's University, 100 million, 2 vehicles. Federal universities, 300 million, 4 vehicles. Including teaching hospital in Newi. They benefited. He now moved to secondary schools. They now choose secondary school that were registered. Each secondary school has 10 computers, 130 kVA generator. The same thing to the government schools. He now said, okay, let us see how we can hand over some of these premier secondary schools back to the church. That was how they handed over Maria Regina University in Newi back to Catholic Church. And he funded it. That is how they hand over CKC, Onitsha, and several other schools. And you can see those schools now, you can't beat them in WAEC. He brought standard. Even federal school at Nilse, he gave them grants. Go and ask them. He gave them 50 computers, one kVA generator, 1 bus for the principal. There's no secondary school in the Anambra State that the principal does not have a boss. He brought the principles and the policy that the principals must live inside the school. Go to Anambra State and see all the principals living inside the school. Where are you going to? So he brought sanity in education. From the university to secondary school, there was sanity. He gave them conducive environment, changed their chair. He is the first governor to change blackboard to marker. Go and verify that there. We are Anambra State. So education was solid. He now moved into industry. Limca, that is limca that you drink, used to be a dual ownership between Anambra State government and Indian government, which is on 60-30%. Premier Brewer used to be also the same thing, private investor in Anambra State. But Limca folded because they said they were not making profits. They now sold the license to Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola now moved Limca from Onitsha to Lagos. Are you aware of that?
I'm just hearing that for the
yes,
first time.
That's why they had Limca closed. Limca used to Limca, then they have Limca, they even have Crush. Limca used to be one of the bottling company east of the Niger. But because they said they're not making profit, the security was not there. The GM then is Champats. The quantity manager then was Ram. The marketing manager then was Okolo, Austin Okolo. He's there in Onitsha tomorrow. So that is how Limca closed. Peter Obi now came in and said, okay, since the state government, our government cannot manage, let us do it this way. We bring people who can manage, government invests. That is what brought about Europe, which is now one of the most viable bottling companies as far as beer and soft drinks is concerned. He brought them to Anambra State. They are doing well. They are making returns to Anambra State. That is how they brought Millennium Pharmaceutical Company. People who are saying that he did not do anything. That is how they brought Orient Petroleum, that has gas plants, which Anambra State are investors. Anambra State government is an investor, and Umbrellas are investors. So when you talk about roads, Anambra State had no single road. The person who opened Anambra State to some extent was Ngige. When Ngige came in, Anambra was in a state of comatose. It was Ngige that opened some roads, namely Nobi, Mpo, with CCC company, Cats, Niger Cat Company. He opened them. Ibuku, Nobi, Oga, straight to Umuchu and Umuchuku. This was Ngige's projects. But he couldn't stay long, so he couldn't do much. Are you aware that Peter Obi built a bridge across the River Niger?
I'm hearing that for the first time.
Beautiful. When you are traveling to Oga Junction, you have Oguipele, you have Atani, right? From Atani, you have Osamala, you have Oguipele, then you have River Niger. He built a road across to Oshomole. So if you are coming from Port Harcourt or where you don't need to enter Onitsha. Just enter that road. You cross the River Niger, a bridge, a solid bridge. Cross the River Niger, you bust out at the bridgehead here. He built that bridge. He built a bridge that is connecting Anambra State to Kogi State. That was later abandoned and later completed by his successor. That bridge was 90% completed. The other land completed and now ended it somewhere. What that road need now to asphalt it now to Kogi. That means you are going to Lokoja. It takes you less than 2 hours to be in Lokoja from 33 Onitsha. By Aya Ebelum, by Omoabanam, Aguleri. The bus out to where you are going to Kogi. So he opened all the rural roads as far as Anambra State is concerned. That is why the woman who is having her trade to sell in Oshomole or in Okija can easily come to Nnewi and go back the same day. That is why somebody who is doing business in Imiata can easily come to Onitsha, do business and go. That is why somebody who is in a far away Oboji, you know what's called Oboji in Anambra State? But there are roads there. There are roads there. That is why Somebody who is at Oga can easily come to Onitsha and go back the same day. Do you know there's a town called Abacha?
Abacha.
Roads are there. Uke. Roads are there. These are central. Aguluzibo. Aguluku. All of them. Umuchuku. So the roads are there. Who will be the roads? And you know, Anambra State has the one complicated road network in it. Anambra State, I think every compound has a road. Now I talk about erosions. Which in Newi were completely cut off. He fixed the Obi of Newich, completely cut off. He fixed the erosion there and built a road that leads from Amoko to Nobi. That road before was cut off. Then Oko, Ekulobia, was cut off. A gullible erosion. He fixed the erosion, and there's a road between Ekulobia and Oko. That's why I can go to Oko. If you check by this side, you see that erosion there. He controlled the erosion. And a cut road in there, cut off. He fixed it. Before that, his last government now reinforced. So we have several erosion sites in Nnewi where this man humbly fixed without even making noise. So there are landmark projects that Peter Obi embarked in Anambra State to make Anambra State better. If Peter Obi were to be governor of Anambra State for 16 years, Lagos would not be Anambra State. That's why Lagos State was what you describe as former FCT. Well, I'm telling you the truth. That is why and how they bring in all about monumental achievements in Anambra State. So talking about security in Anambra State, as far as Anambra State is concerned, he brought insecurity to near zero. So Omokere cannot be in London where he has run away to go and stay. He should come to Nigeria. And because before you talk, we that are around, we know the achievement of who is who in this country. So these are the little one. These are just the tip of the iceberg I can give you. If I should go into details, you might not air it because there are several monumental achievements of Mr. Peter Obi.
Well, all these things you said are not several. They are not little achievements. They are huge monumental achievements. I wouldn't ask you from what you said who you're going to vote for. I already know who you're going to vote for. Let's assume I know who you're going to vote for.
Well, as a journalist, no, you don't say you are as a journalist. As a journalist, we are neutral.
Okay, it's okay, no problem.
We are journalists, so we are neutral.
Okay. One final word for our public out there. One final word.
I don't have final word different from what Mr. President, former president, have said. Don't elect killers as your president. That was the first. That's the last one. The last one again, because I'm quoting him as a role model. I'm quoting him. He said again, don't elect those who have destroyed Nigeria as presidents. Don't elect those who are tribalized or those who have don't have anything to vote Nigeria. So I still stand by the former Mr. President Goodluck Jonathan.
It's okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's been refreshing having you here.
Thank you very much,
and
sir.
It's been enlightening. You've told us a lot of things. Those things we don't know before, we've not heard about before. Especially when you talk about building a road across the river.
Go there, standing there. That bridge is standing there.
I think we need to let the people.
It's more than a kilometer bridge. That people are building second Niger bridge for 30 years. He built it within 6 months.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. It's wonderful having you.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Okay. We've all listened to my wonderful guest, and we've listened to various inroads and enlightenment things he has said about responding to what Oshomole said, talking about P2B, talking about Reno Omokri accusations. I think it's been enlightening. I think you've learned something. So I'll encourage you for you to be getting these tidbits as they come from Noble TV. Whenever you see Noble TV, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.